Hi, in the previous video I mentioned that I was going to show my magic mod, and this is that video. To start, my current name for the magic mod is Aura Magic. I'm not 100% set on this name, so if you have any other ideas you can add them as comments and I might choose them. For now I'm just going to go with the Aura Magic mod. Currently Hytale has 6 elements: wind, earth, lightning, water and fire, and then internally they have something called void. Now they've got crystals in the game too. They've got yellow, white, red, void, pink, green, light, blue and blue. And the green, as you see here, is a bit messed up. It's missing the smaller version, but I actually found that that's a JSON bug. Then you've got your arcane workbench, which has 4 items in there. There's 2 staffs, one's an ice staff and a fire staff, and they literally just like rocket launchers with a secondary fire. You've got a healing totem and a slowing totem, and those are area-based effects. Then you have the potion tables. There's a whole lot of random potions, just the general life and healing, stamina, stuff like that. Then you've got a bomb and you have got a few morphing potions. Then you've got the farming table and a food table, and those potentially could have magical stuff. So for example, a life essence is in there. Then over here you've got shards, which is what you get for breaking the crystals, and then you get these life essences. Here I've got shards, gems, crystals and life essence. So water has got everything, ice has got everything, life has got everything, including the sort of like powered up life essence. So it's taking 100 life essence and putting it into one. Fire has got everything. The white is not connected to anything, but it's got quite a few of them. And then you got lightning, which is missing the gems. And then you've got this pink crystal and you've got a orange gem, which aren't really connected to anything. So it's a bit of a haphazard of stuff. There are quite a few other items like books and stuff like that, but most of them don't work. So the first thing I want to do is, using these existing items, I'm going to add an extra 10 elements, which are mixes of the existing 5, and then I'm going to add an opposite to void. So I'll end up with 17 elements. This is quite a few. My one worry is I'm adding too much stuff here, but I'm going to stick with this idea going forward. Now here I'll show you how they mix together. So for example, if I take water as the central element, it can then mix with wind to create ice, or water can mix with earth to create life. Water can mix with lightning, which is 2 away, to create sound, or water can mix with fire, which is again 2 away, the opposite side, to create mist. And here are all the extra elements: ice, life, magnetic, plasma, rage, mist, dust, sound, lava and storm. And then infinity is the opposite of void. The way I see void is it's controlling to extreme, and then infinity is going to be a loss of control but powerful. Now the nice thing about this is this uses the existing items that Hytale has and just builds on top of them. I need to have all the crystals and gems spawning in the world, and I need all the entities to spawn all the different types of essence, and I probably need to make a mixing station where you can mix the different shards together, so you can then go backwards and forwards in between other shards. I'll need a new station to create all the magical items. When you create armor, each armor item gives you more health and adds defense and adds all of that type of thing. Now, I want a wizard or a mage to be sort of like a long distance squishy unit, but he must be quite powerful. So like area of effect, powerful spells. My idea is to create an armor set made out of cloth, and it's a magical armor set. What it will do is allow you to do magic, and you can't do magic without that armor set. So this stops you from wearing normal armor, and therefore you don't get all the life bonuses. Most of Hytale's weapons and shields have like a primary, a secondary, and you can charge them up. And there's also ability to, when you hit in with your primary, after a while that will charge charge up like a boosted version, which you can then press Q, I think, and then enable that. I want to still use that idea. So I've got two ideas around the casting which use that method. One way is to create a spell. So it's like a scroll with a crystal on it, and that allows you to cast the spell, and it will have different levels. I also want the wizard to have a level. So if you're, say, for example, a level 1 wizard and somebody gives you a level 5 scroll and you try cast it, it might actually blow you up, for example. So I want a whole lot of random effects to happen to you. Then the other way I had was where I use a book and you turn the pages. But the problem with that idea is there was no way to then scroll through the pages and then cast. So what I'm going to probably do is go with the magical scroll idea. Another idea I had was, so if you have a mage of earth and then a mage of lightning, and they do their charged attacks, which builds up, they can potentially join them together to create a magnetic version of it. I want, going back to the level of the wizard, I want you to have, say, a maximum of 5 levels that you can go up in the scrolls, but the mage himself can gain access to, say, a maximum of 10 levels. So you could potentially get level 5 in 2 elements max or something like that. So each scroll will have 2 abilities. For example, like an attack and a shield. The actions that you can do with these scrolls are going to vary. You're going to have buffs and debuffs. You're going to have shields. You're going to have attacks. You'll be able to create NPCs. You're going to change blocks. All sorts of stuff. I'm going to have entities which represent each element. So void is already done. There's loads of void NPCs, but like, for example, earth, I'll have golems and ground, rock entities. I also want structures which are pre-made, which represent all these different elements. So I've already started coding this, and I've started with the wind element, and my next video will be going over what I've done up to now, and things might change in the future, but this is the way I'm going forward now. Anyway, thanks for watching and goodbye.